Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back today with the Mizuno Wave Rider 29, the best shoe that you are not gonna buy. Now, this shoe is a legend. You know why it's a legend? I love any of these shoes where you start getting the numbers up higher and higher. The Peg 41, the Cayano, even the Triumph is up there in the 20s. It's cool to appreciate and respect and honor the heritage of some of these older nameplates. With that though, it also is a more traditional shoe, and it's cool sometimes to review the more traditional stuff versus just the Super Blast and the Mag Max and the Glycerins of the world. So if you're looking for a new shoe, you're in the right place. We talk a lot about shoes on this channel, and we also have an app called the Supwell app. It's my app. It's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace out there. If you're looking for a shoe like this, you might not find it because a lot of the people on the app are into more of the niche shoes and not the more traditional shoes. But if you're looking for a max cushion shoe or a race shoe or a speed shoe or a daily trainer, maybe you're looking for the Neo Zen or the Neo Vista from Mizuno, get on the app, find something in your size, and you'll also get to see a lot of reviews from people who are different than me. So if you're looking for some takes on a certain shoe that you want, you can even post, has anybody tried the Adidas Prime X Strong 3, who's my size and my weight, and somebody will be able to hook you up with an answer. So enjoy today's video and get in with us on the app. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Marshawn Lynch. You remember that? It was in the playoffs. It was a press conference. He didn't want to answer any questions. Marshawn Lynch, the venerated running back, former running back, retired running back for the Seattle Seahawks. He played on the teams with Russell Wilson when Russell Wilson was in his prime in the Legion of Boom. Marshawn Lynch is a funny dude. He now is a media figure. He's on the Amazon Prime Thursday Night Football team. He gets into a lot of shenanigans. I think he got a DUI a few years ago. He's also known for his penchant for cannabis. Anyway, he doesn't like the media. So he said, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Now, I'm not here on YouTube so I don't get fined. I actually like this. But sometimes, walking around the house, long weekend. This morning, I thought I was doing a good job. I got Roni out of bed. I got her dressed in this gorgeous reddish pink dress. That classic picnic table gingham pattern, the red and white checkers. I got her dressed, and then I said, this is one of the cutest dresses I've ever seen in my life. And I walked with her out to the kitchen, and Mason, who is 6 years old, said to me, Daddy, did you get her dressed? That outfit is for the 4th. And I said, Mason, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Let me change this outfit. Anyway, today we got the Mizuno Wave Rider 29 in the house. This is Mizuno's OG daily trainer. 29, bro. 29. What shoes have more numbers than that? I think the Pegasus up at 41 and the Cayano at 32. I don't know if we have any other performance running shoes that have more numbers than that. The Wave Rider 29. That is seriously impressive. And it's also seriously wild to me that Mizuno, by the way, I did not buy this from Running Warehouse. You can see right here, if this were from Running Warehouse, it would have been in a cardboard box and it would not have had this damage from shipping. So the place that I did get this, I guess they're cutting corners with their shipping costs because it's arriving to me all banged up. We had 29 iterations of this workhorse daily trainer, and they're still getting disrespected, man. I've been losing sleep over this. Mizuno Neo Vista 2. Let me grab that. Bang. Honestly, most disrespected running shoe in the game right now, and people have all sorts of theories because I asked, why is this shoe not getting any love? People have all sorts of theories. I actually think it looks great. Somebody says it's because it doesn't look that good. Man, this thing looks beautiful. I really love the way it looks. The OG Neo Vista, to me, I hated the way this thing looked. There's too many blues going on, but people were obsessed with it. So there you go. I guess people like gaudy, garish, and flashy shoe designs because the Neo Vista OG got more pop than the 2. What they did in the 2 is they updated the foam, and now this thing is a beautifully riding shoe. So good, and I love the subtle design on this where you have the logo on the inside, right? It's funny. No matter what you do, people criticize you. It's like On puts the big logo, the ugly big light switch logo on the outside, and then people say it's too flashy. Mizuno barely puts a logo on the shoe, and people say it's boring. There you go. No matter what you do, you can't win on the internet. But Mizuno has been dropping really quality shoes. I wasn't the biggest fan of the OG here, but I've been loving the 2. I just got this up to 100 miles. They also dropped the Neo Zen a few months ago. This guy is more of a fun, this guy's more of a fun daily trainer. And you see, every brand has a fun daily and a speed daily, or a speed daily and a regular daily. This is the speed daily or the fun daily. The Wave Rider 29 is the regular daily. If you look in the Brooks lineup, it would be the Hyperion 2, or they're on the Hyperion 3 now, would be the speed daily. And the Ghost Max and the Ghost would be the regular dailies. If you look at the Hoka lineup, you'd have the Clifton as the regular daily, the Mach 6 as the speed daily. Who else? New Balance, yeah, you have the 1080 and the 880 as the regular daily, and the Rebel as a speed daily, so on and so forth. So this is the fun daily from Mizuno, non-plated in the Neo Zen, thick stack of foam, bouncy. Mizuno has been killing it with the foam development. They're on top of the game right now, especially for the training foams, up there with Puma. But what I love that Mizuno has done is developed the best possible training foam. And that was what was so cool about the Neo Vista 2. They said, let's take the best possible training foam and the best possible training technology and make an awesome training shoe. Let's not try to put a race foam in there. Let's not try to put a carbon plate in there. Let's make a purpose-built training shoe. So Mizuno has done a really nice job engineering these shoes specifically for one purpose. Their race shoes are also great, the Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pro 3. So might be the most slept-on brand in running right now. I am really, oh gosh, look at this, man. I don't even know. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's disgusting. Gosh. But these flies, they're not even mosquitoes. They're these disgusting black flies. They bite, and they also love poop. I was doing my long run on Sunday, the one that was horrible, and there was a big pile of poop on somebody's lawn. It must have been from their dog. And there were just 30 of those flies. So now I just can't get that association out of my head. And every time they land on one of my shoes, they're getting poop on the Vomeros. They're getting feces on the Clifton. We don't need feces on the Clifton. Yeah, I saw the Wave Rider 29. I knew I needed to check it out because Mizuno has just been crushing it. And they need a bigger platform in the game right now. So I'm going to do my part to showcase what they're dropping because they have done a really solid job. So let's check it out. Wave Rider 29, bada boom, bada bang, and bro, dude, look at this thing. That's a good colorway right there. That is such a good colorway. Oh my goodness. If you thought the Neo Vista 2 was boring, this is not boring. Look at that. Nice pale green upper with this, what color is that? A dawn green, a fresh spring green on the midsole. Really sharp looking shoe, man. Banger colorway. Yeah, I love this. Two different shades of green and then the nice tan up at the top. This is Dad Drip 5000. So this is designed to be Mizuno's Dad Drip shoe. This is designed to be their normal shoe that you can wear to Home Depot, that you can wear to Little League, that you can wear to school pickup, and also that you can run in. So this is not designed to be the long run shoe or the speed shoe. They already have that with the Neo Vista 2 and the Mizuno Wave Rebellion Flash 2. This is designed really to be the Clifton competitor. This is Mizuno's Clifton, and they've been doing it for longer than Hoka has with the Clifton. They're on the Wave Rider 29. So what you get in here, and the reason why I even decided to pick this up, because I didn't run in the Wave Rider 28, and this is the type of shoe that I typically just completely ignore. But the reason I decided to pick it up is, well, one, it looks fantastic, but also they have the EnerzyNXT foam in here. So they updated it with a new foam. And funny enough, dude, that's the same foam that's in here. That's the same foam that's in the Neo Vista 2. Now, pushing it in, let's see. Mizuno Neo Vista 2, EnerzyNXT, nice and soft. This one seems that it's tuned a bit firmer, so that's questionable for me right away here. I really don't like when brands do that. So, yeah, this definitely has a higher density. Still feels really nice. Definitely feels nice, but it feels more similar to something like this. Definitely not as firm, actually. So I brought this out to Mizuno, or Brooks Ghost Max 2 as a competitor. A nice, comfortable, cushioned $150 everyday shoe. That's what the Wave Rider 29 is going up against. And yes, this would technically be more of the Ghost competitor, but same price now, $150. Brooks is also coming out with the 3. But yeah, similar foam type. It almost feels like a supercritical EVA, but I know Mizuno has moved on from EVA to TPU. So this does feel really nice. You get that classic thick layer of outsole rubber on this because it's designed to be a workhorse durable shoe. And then you also get the wave plate. So plastic plate going through here. And did you know, fun fact, Mizuno was the brand who pioneered plastic plates in running shoes. It was not Nike, it was not Saucony even, it was Mizuno. They've been doing these wave plates for a long time. So you still have that in here. Nice upper, very normal. Everything about this shoe in terms of the upper is normal. Look at that, nice and lightweight, seems like it should be breathable. Good tongue. That's an underrated quality that I look for in these shoes now, because I've had some bad luck recently. The Magnify 3 actually cut up the front of my foot. I've never had that happen before. And then the Vista actually cut up the back of my foot with how tall this is. And apparently that's another reason why people are saying, oh, we don't like the Neo Vista 2 because it has the booty upper. Bro, I'm telling you, if this thing were the Super Blast 3 and it had a booty upper, it would be sold out. You boys talking about booty. Stop lying to yourselves. You like the booty. It just depends what brand is giving you the booty. Because Mizuno's giving you the booty, you want to sleep on it. And Mizuno's an underdog. This is the type of stuff that gets me fired up. Yeah, anyway, just normal all around on the upper. The key here is really this midsole. That's what's exciting to me about the shoe. Yes, it's a 10 millimeter drop. It doesn't actually look that 10 millimeter drop-ish. Because look at this. Hey, look at the Nike. This is a Nike Vomero 18. Look how much more foam you get in the back than the front, just visually. Mizuno's is not like that. You're not tapering down as much, and maybe you're sitting farther. No, you're not even sitting farther. So this is what I've been talking about recently with drop. I have no idea how these brands are measuring it, because apparently this is a 10 millimeter drop. This looks way more like a 6 or an 8 to me visually, especially if we're comparing to the Nike. Let me go grab my calipers real quick. And yeah, I'm guessing there's less foam in the heel of the Wave Rider, at least on paper. But if we go under the forefoot here, let's see. So that's 30 millimeters right up here. Same place in the Vomero. You're getting, you see that? You're getting 27. Let's go up even farther. So about, let's see, let's go. Let's take this 45 millimeters from the tip here, right there. You're getting 19 on the Vomero. And then on the Mizuno, you're getting 22, 23. So, yeah, overall, more foam up in the forefoot here. It feels really nice. Yeah, look at that. Look when I'm pushing it in. You see all those compression lines around the foam? That tells me it's going to give us some nice squish and some nice bounce. Let's see. Not a very flexible shoe because you have the wave plate in there stabilizing it. Overall, really interesting shoe, right? Workhorse with the TPU and the plastic plate. Could be a banger. Let's put it through the lab. All right, man. Wave Rider 29. Weigh in. This actually feels decently lightweight too. Feels like it's under 300. Look at that, 289 grams. We'll see where this comes in on the stackerator, but my guess is it's around 40 in the back. Let's see if we can get this propped up here. It's hard to get a good, there you go. Let's compare that to the Clifton. Hoka Clifton. Very similar. Clifton comes in at 295 grams. So look at that. Specs are right on par with this category here. Let's throw the Vomero on. And it's interesting because Nike has the Pegasus and they have the Vomero, but a lot of the shoes that are competing in this segment are in between the Pegasus and the Vomero. So Vomero comes in at 325 grams. Pegasus is around 300 or 305 in my size. So Wave Rider and Clifton are lighter than both. But yeah, the Vomero is more stacked and more comfortable than a lot of these $140, $150 daily trainers, and then the Pegasus is less stacked and less comfortable. So it's a bit of a conundrum. Vomero is my pick 100% out of those two, though. Really comfortable shoe. Great for going out there and just throwing down some relaxed miles. And then I wanted to bring out a shoe that we have not featured at all in the last 6 or so months. You're going to be surprised to see this guy make a cameo. New Balance 1080 V14. Man, the V13 has gotten more screen time recently than this guy. This guy's coming in around 307 grams. This is New Balance's comfort everyday option. The 880 is more of the entry-level everyday option. You get the EVA Fresh Foam Blend. And some people still are buying this thing. And when I reviewed the Magnify, a few people told me, they said, hey, I got the 1080. I wish I held out for the Magnify. And I think that's why this is getting left behind, because a lot of the daily shoes coming out now, as we can see with the Wave Rider 29, are introducing new technology. There's going to be more bounce, and it's not just about the comfort. New Balance is actually moving to I believe it's a TPU-based compound in the next version of Fresh Foam. That was part of the information that I got when we leaked the 1080 on Instagram, the 1080 V15, and the Ellipse, and then New Balance tried to send their lawyers at us, and they came up with fraudulent accusations. So not shout out to New Balance. But yeah, they are behind the times here right now. The V15 is not up to par with the rest, or the V14 is not up to par with the rest of the segment, but they should be cooking up something cool with the V15. Now, if we compare it to the other Mizuno shoes, the cool thing about the Neo Zen is how light it is. So look at that, 258 grams. So overall, really solid lineup here. And then Neo Vista 2, the Max Stack Long Run Cruiser. This one is, of course, going to be heavier at 286 grams. And that's lighter, though, still, than the Wave Rider 29, which is crazy. So quick QA check here. Let me throw this other one on. So right side, 289. Left side, let's see. Ooh, left side 280. So a little bit off. Let me see. Is there anything else inside this? No, there's nothing inside this that would make it heavier. So slightly off there. I would say that's on the line. Not a fail, but not a pass with flying colors. Let's get the stack. Where's the rocket, bro? The rocket. The Rocket X3, bro. We need that rocket. We need that Rocket X3. All right, let's get some stack in the back here. I'm guessing it's right around 40 from the eyeball. Bang, look at that, 37.5, so touch under 40 millimeters on the left side here. That's solid for a daily shoe, right where it should be for versatile daily trainer. Let's get the right side. Bada boom, bada bang. Ooh, right side is up higher at 39. Hold on, and was the left one the one that was lighter? Yes, it was. So look at that. There's some QA difference. 2 millimeters lower on the left side, and also 9 grams lighter. That's not great. That's not great, Mizuno. Come on, I'm gassing you up out here. I'm gassing you up, and you're just coming through with the mediocre QA. Not as bad as Adidas, but that's not great either. So let's get a comparison of where that falls against some of these other $150 daily shoes. Now, of course, Brooks does have the standard Ghost, but the Ghost Max 2, very similar at 36.5 millimeters. And then Clifton, Hoka Clifton, Top Dad. I don't even want to say dad drip. I'll call this the paternal pleasure shoe, because it's not about drip and being fresh all the time. Sometimes you just want to feel pleased. Clifton 10 will get you feeling right. Ooh, wow. Dude, is that for... Are you serious? I haven't stack rated this guy in a while. That's crazy. Dang. Hold on. Let me get one more check. One more check on this guy. Yeah, coming in around 33, 34 on the left side. This was above 40, so compression molded EVA. Emphasis on the compression. Yeah, this is banged down 5 to 7 millimeters, maybe even more, just from daily use for a few weeks. That's crazy. So, yeah, that is one of the things with the Hoka compression molded EVA. The lack of durability allegations are true. So it'll be interesting to see how this new TPU base foam does in a daily shoe. Will it compress as much? I don't think I'll be running in this a ton, just given I don't typically run in these standard daily trainers all that much, but maybe I'll have to pull up clean in it, do some everyday use. I feel like this could look kind of fresh with the Supwell camo shorts. You know, Supwell camo shorts and a mileage shirt. That could look fresh, and then we can get some compression testing, but I don't know if anyone wants durability testing on this thing. This might be a one and done video type of shoe. And I think Mizuno did a really nice job with the update, the visual update on these, because these older traditional, the classic Mizuno shoes, they have a distinct look to them. I think Mizuno did a nice job keeping that intact while evolving it, making these look a touch better, more modern. So lacing it up here, I do have the features on today. I don't have the stance on. I have the features on, but comfortable, man. Good upper. This is just a solid daily training upper. Let's see. In the front, slightly lower volume and narrower width than I expected. Feels like it might even be, yeah, it fits a touch snugger than something like a Clifton. Let's get this other one on foot here. But the tongue is nice and padded. Step-in is really good. The back is nice and padded. The foam feels good underfoot too, especially in the forefoot right there. And it's cool to see this technology trickling down into a standard daily trainer, right? This TPU foam. So let me see. Yeah, fits true to size lengthwise. This is not going to be super wide foot friendly. In terms of the height here, the volume, I'm guessing it's going to stretch out a touch, or at least just not feel as tight through the course of the run. Fits normal. Good padding in the back. Let's get a walk test. Super comfortable, man. I don't know if this is gonna go Clifton levels, but for an everyday shoe like this, something that's designed for running and walking and casual use, this has great comfort. The foam under the forefoot is perfect. It does have a slightly disjointed heel to forefoot feel. It's not the smoothest, but that could be because of the higher drop. We'll see once we get out there and run in it, but really comfortable. You get a lot of cushion in the heel, decent cushion in the forefoot. I'm also wondering if it's something about the plate that gives that feel. I don't know. It's not too bad, and I'm sure we'll get used to it. But overall, I'm liking the comfort. So plan for this morning, probably only going to get 6 miles. We'll see. I was hoping to get 8, but I got a slightly later start, and I have the day off from my 9 to 5, which means I'm also forced to take some sort of day off from this as well. So we'll do a shorter run, I guess. I don't know. All right, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Let's do this. Woo! Wave Rider 29, baby. Let's go riding that wave. Out here like Kelly Slater. I think that's the only surfer I know. Is there a surfer named Laird? I think so. Laird Hamilton, maybe? Laird Hamilton and Kelly Slater. Yeah, so this very much feels like a standard daily trainer with a cool foam. Definitely has that 10mm drop feel. And I can feel the bounce from the TPU. Not a speed shoe, but some nice bounce. Overall, very solid. Right at home in that ghost Clifton camp. This very much feels like an update that's gonna make fans of this shoe happy. With these shoes, even though this has a new foam and everything, the brands don't want to change too much. They don't want to upset the core buyer, because there's people who've been buying this for 20 years or however long it's been coming out. I never ran in the previous version, but it has the same traditional feel. This one does, as a lot of these other daily trainers. Man, I was complaining about only getting 6 miles today. Honestly, 6 is sounding nice. I got 19 yesterday, 20 the day before, 14 the day before that, and 20 the day before that. So I could use a mileage cut today. And then send it in some carbon tomorrow. Yeah, I'm definitely still feeling some of that heel toe choppiness. I'm wondering if it's the wave plate, because it's in there to stabilize the shoe, but I'm pretty sure it's only in the back. Mile 1, 8:14. This is solid, very solid. People have been asking for more training videos. They want me to talk about training again. Honestly, I don't know if I have anything to talk about. I've just been grinding. You just gotta watch the work, that's it. Might have more to talk about once I actually run another PR. Honestly, I feel like I've said everything I need to say. Mile 2, 750. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get to the next level, man. I shared all my insights after I ran sub 240. I've just been grinding. It's hard for me because I'm at the point now where what's gonna get me to the next level is just work and pain. There are no more easy gains. And I feel like I've talked about all the things already that the majority of people can do. So maybe I'll
talk about them again. I don't know. Do another training series, Training 101. Get those insights back up. I guess it's good to do a refresher because the algorithm buries all that stuff. What did Jay-Z say though? You want my old stuff? Buy my old albums. The old training talks are still there, I think. Unless YouTube deleted them. I don't think so. What should my next training talk be? How to suffer and struggle for 8 months and barely get faster. It's not a very exciting training talk. I was actually doing them for a while in the winter, the training talks again, and nobody was watching them, so I stopped doing them. I go where the people want me to go. And of course, it's not all about that, but if the stuff is consistently the lowest performing, I'm not gonna do it. But sometimes it's hard, right? Because the only thing that the majority of people want to see is the new shoes, the dopamine hit of the new shoes, new shoes, new shoes. And that's the niche I pigeonholed myself into. You've got the carbon handcuffs in the PIVA ceiling, and we haven't really broken through beyond that. And so here I am running in a Mizuno daily trainer that nobody cares about. Yeah, this video is probably gonna get less views than a training talk would have, so I don't know. Like I was saying yesterday, maybe I should just run for state rep or something. Putting a lot of effort into this supercritical TPU analysis. And I think the good thing with the shoes is that they're always releasing. So there's new ones, new stuff to talk about. And there's only so much to talk about when it comes to training. It's really not that complicated. You got to stay healthy, slowly increase your mileage, get it to a point where you're maxing out, you're not getting fired, divorced, or injured. Run hard twice a week. That's the recipe. That's it. Maybe I should start trying to overcomplicate things with the training so there's more to talk about. Because if I make it more complicated, the 17-step process to long run recovery, how to optimize zone 3 paces during summer heat acclimation, the Z7 protocol, step 1. Yeah, I don't know, man. What do we put on the shirt and the hat and the shorts? Mileage. That's really all there is to it. People out here trying to complicate everything. Maybe I should make training songs. When you feel good, run hard. When you feel tired, take it easy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I do need to switch it up. I've been doing the same thing on this channel for a year and a half now. And other shoe-tubers have taken the playbook. You see somebody get a new shoe, crank out 3 comparison videos back to back to back, That was my 2024 playbook. Trying to get early access to a shoe, doing the first run review. That was my 2024 playbook. I gotta come up with some new ideas. Invigorate. It's hard though. It's hard, especially when you're grinding. Just in the work so much with the Instagram, the app, and the channel. It's like tending to the field. You can't plant new crops if you're already tending to 17 fields. So instead, here I am with a Mizuno Wave Rider 29. Spent 150 smackarolis on a shoe that nobody cares about. How did I end up here? So some thoughts on the actual shoe. I'm pretty sure this used to be a 12mm drop, the Wave Rider franchise. So it does have a legacy of being a higher drop shoe. And I can feel that in the back. Running Warehouse says this one is only 10, but it very much has that higher heel feel. But the foam is nice. It reminds me of the best version of Fuel Cell, and when Fuel Cell performs at its best. Good bounce, decent squish. Also with this shoe, I'm getting some ground feel. Really makes me wonder how this would perform in a Rebel competitor type shoe. Lower to the ground, no plastic wave plate in the back. Because it really does have some good pep. It's fun. I'm kidding about the training videos. Kind of. I don't know. I might not be kidding, but let me know if you have a specific topic. I guess one of the other issues is with the hour-long format, or just this longer format. I can't really make a video that's like long run hydration tips. That's a 5-minute video, and it's just not really the essence of this channel. Or for example, a video like how to run your first 5K. I could give some tips on that and insights on that, of course. I've also helped people with training for their races, but is that a video on my channel, how to run your first 5K? I don't know. I don't know, man. It's good to try new things. It's also hard because I am established now and people do expect a certain product. If you started seeing Ford branded candy bars, you'd be really surprised. And Ford makes cars, not candy bars. I don't have all the answers. I have more questions usually than I do answers. Man, I can't tell you how many times I've gone through this analysis cycle. Charlie knows, dozens. And then I make a few training videos. Last time I did this, I made 3 training videos in a row. And it was one of the worst performing weeks of my channel. So that happens. And then we have the huge pack coming through with all the new stuff. And of course, everyone's gonna come back and watch that with the Rocket X3, etc. I don't know, man. Mile 5, 7:48, last mile here. I really like this foam. It's a lower stack in the forefoot here, but it's got some get up and go. Oh man, I'm moving now on this last mile. The bounce is really good. Yeah, this is another top-notch foam. Mizuno is just crushing it. Yeah, getting down to 7 flat on this last mile here. Thing feels awesome. The bounce is really nice. Mile 6, 7:15. That's definitely where these felt best. It's not a jogging shoe, it's a running shoe.
Boom, we're done. Man, lots of philosophizing this week. I don't know what it is. I really don't. Is it the 4th? The 4th of July? It's got me feeling philosophical. I don't know. Or maybe because I was on vacation last week. Wasn't really thinking about much, and then came back here reevaluating everything, the business model, the content, what we're bringing to the people. I don't know, man. All right, let's get the specs over here on the good old 265. 6.5 miles, 7:49 pace, 50 minutes, 33 seconds. Most of that run, I was right around 8 flat. Then I started picking it up at the end, got down to 7:15. That's where these felt best. Now, it is most certainly not a speed shoe, so that tells me this is going to feel a lot better for bigger runners. And I think with this having the nice chunkier heel, also with it being a more legacy option that's designed for the center of the market for people who want an everyday shoe similar to a Clifton or even a Bandai. The Bandai is more stacked. I think the buyers who typically reach for the shoe and purchase it are gonna love it. They didn't completely abandon the traditional feel, but this EnerzyNXT foam is super nice, man. So Mizuno and Puma, they're just killing it right now with the foams. That's the entire reason I bought this thing, even though nobody else is gonna buy it and nobody cares about it and people only care about the Rocket X2 right now, or Rocket X3. I bought this because I wanted to see how Mizuno is evolving the standard daily trainer category with this supercritical TPU foam, and they have done a really nice job here. So shout out Mizuno, putting in work. Man, I'm telling you, I'm allergic to something in the air right now. Because I'm not sick, but I've been sneezing this entire week since we got back here. And I don't know if it's the pollen or the grass. Also, this tree right here. Absolutely love that thing. It's our 3rd summer here, and it blooms every July. Also, Charlie's birthday is July 30th. So always when we get back here, right around her birthday, it's in full bloom, full pink. This year it looks like it might be blooming earlier. But yeah, we have stuff blooming still, so I'm sure there's something in the air. Maybe it's just the poop flies that I'm allergic to or something. Anyway, Mizuno Wave Rider 29, the best shoe that nobody cares about, the best shoe that you're not gonna buy. So I bought this shoe because it has the EnerzyNXT foam. It looks really good. I think it looks really good in this colorway. It's a standard workhorse that Mizuno has done a nice job refreshing. So let's throw it up. We got a short 6-mile run today, right around an 8 flat, 750 pace, which is, I think, the longest that a lot of people will do in a shoe like this. The core buyer of this shoe is somebody who wants one shoe for running, walking, casual use, everything that you might use a sneaker for. Maybe you have your Cole Haans for dressing up, your rainbows
for going to the beach, and you have your Mizunos for anything that you want a comfy sneaker for. So this is not purpose built to be a long distance shoe. It's not purpose built to be a speed shoe. It's purpose built to do anything, right? Nike Pegasus, Brooks Ghost, Hoka Clifton, this category of shoes, the workhorse category, not the most exciting, and that's exactly why I wanted to try this out, because they are putting an exciting foam in here. Now, they call it EnerzyNXT. It doesn't feel the exact same as it does in the Neo Vista, but it's pretty close. I can feel that it's the same compound. It's definitely tuned to be firmer, denser, not as squishy, but it has a lot of that squish in the pep, and especially if we throw these splits up again, on the last mile there when I was cruising at a 7:15, which is more of running versus jogging, it felt really good. So I think for the most people out here who buy this are gonna be, I'm guessing 80% of the people who buy this are people who have bought it before, and 20% of the people like me, maybe they wanna try something out, or they need a higher drop shoe. Their doctor says they need something with a high drop to take it off, or you just like something to take off the pressure of your Achilles. If you're in the latter group, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. And if you're in the former group, the people who've been buying this forever, you're not gonna be disappointed. I've never run in the 28 or the 27, but it very much feels how I would expect it to in terms of the heel to toe drop, the slight stability in the back, and the overall comfort. And with this category of shoes, what I look for is, and I know you guys are gonna laugh, this is a meme at this point, but the absence of anything bothersome. With this standard daily trainer category, I just want a shoe that's gonna get out of the way and let me run. You don't need a lot of craziness and excitement. You don't want a weird and wacky upper. And it's nice that they didn't put the Neo Zen and Neo Vista upper on this. Very standard upper, good padding, just no frills at all in the upper, not bothering me. I have a very standard foot. It's not wide, it's not narrow. This fit well. I did have a thicker sock on this morning, and I think that contributed to me feeling like maybe this was potentially lower volume, but that's nitpicking. Really no issues with the upper. And then the feel of it is good too, right in that Goldilocks zone. You do have a higher drop, so 10 millimeter drop, and I can very much feel that it's a 10 millimeter drop, but I don't mind that. The Neo Zen is a lower drop, the Neo Vista is a lower drop, so this is an alternative. And of the 10 millimeter drop shoes that I've tried recently, Vomero, Pegasus, Ghost, is the Ghost still 10 or do they, yeah, that's still 10. And this is right up there. I really like the Ghost. I don't get a lot of miles in this types of shoes, but these types of shoes, but yeah, right up there. Vomero is still a more comfort-oriented shoe. This is definitely more versatile than the Vomero. It was about, what was it, 50 grams lighter than the Vomero. Not as much cushion, more of a do-it-all type of shoe, but overall, solid. I put this one step above solid. I'll put this in the good category. It's not a banger, and I don't know what you would need to do to make one of these shoes a banger. I think it'd be hard to get one of these shoes to be a banger, the Pegasus or the Ghost. But that's the whole thing with this category. You're not supposed to have a banger with this. It's supposed to feel boring almost. It's supposed to just be there and do the job. It does a really nice job at that. Good rubber coverage in the back and in the front. So yeah, I have no real complaints with these shoes. I think sometimes the danger is if they try to do too much, or they could just feel super uncomfortable. Say they made it too soft, now it's just slamming against the ground. Or if the upper had an issue, like the Cloud Surfer, for example, that is a great example of what not to do with your $140 or $150 daily trainer. That thing is actually $160. That should have been $140, but they tried to do too much with that. The upper fit terribly. The foam was completely lifeless. Just overall terrible shoe. This is just really good. It's just good. It looks good to me. The colorway here is a complete banger. It rides nice. So this is not the most exciting shoe. I don't think anybody who watches my channel frequently is gonna buy it, but if you are looking for a higher drop shoe, this should be in your consideration list. So if you don't want, I say probably the best, maybe that's a good list right there, best 10 millimeter drop shoes. This might be the best standard daily trainer 10 millimeter drop shoe. Now, the Pegasus is, or sorry, not the Pegasus. Pegasus is terrible, don't get that. The Peg Plus is solid. That's more of a speed shoe. The Vomero is the comfort shoe. So maybe if you're building a 10 millimeter rotation, you have your Peg Plus for speed, your Vomero for recovery, and this for daily. And then you could have the Triumph 23 for taking out the trash. Let's close it out with those three questions that we always ask and answer on these first round reviews. How does this do versus its intended purpose? Wave Rider 29, designed to be standard everyday shoe. It's also designed not to make anybody mad. They don't want to make the 27 and 28 buyers mad.
that's the risk with updating one of these models that's been in the market for a long time. You can alienate your older consumers. They're not going to do that with this. Very solid, very standard. And when I say standard and traditional, what I mean most of the time is you have a higher heel to toe drop, you have some flexibility and ground feel on the front, and it doesn't feel too bulky on foot. So this executes on all those really well. As I was picking up the pace at the end, it was super nice. And I think I could have gotten down to 620, 6 flat and had this feel good. And also the rubber here, it has the feeling like it's gonna be super grippy. I felt out of the box just around the corner here, I was like, man, this rubber is gripping the ground really well. And if you remember the Neo Vista, the 2, if anybody watched that vacation video I did when I was showing how it was flat here, I'm guessing a lot of people who watch that are gonna watch this because those are 2 videos that are not the most exciting. But yeah, that Neo Vista 2 rubber was very smooth. This guy has a lot of teeth right here. So the grip should be good off-road. It also just has that sticky rubber feel, like it's gonna do a nice job in the rain. There's only one way to find out, of course, but this does feel slightly different than the rubber on the Zen in the Vista 2. I don't know if it is, but it feels different. And then in the back, you get that rubber coverage as well. So in terms of what I'm expecting for a standard daily trainer, a workhorse daily trainer, it does a nice job, feels comfortable. I could walk around in this. I keep looking over there to see if I'm gonna get fined. Question number 2, versus the category, still holding on to that 10mm drop. A lot of the shoes in this category are. It's also 150. Most of these shoes are going up now to 145, 150, so right in the same ballpark. This one does have more bounce and excitement than a lot of the other standard shoes. Definitely bouncier than the Clifton. The Clifton is muy bien when it comes to the comfort, man. The compression molded EVA is just a beautiful thing for impact absorption. So that takes it over this for pure comfort, but this really does have that versatile quality, man. I was picking up the pace at the end. I was jogging along and it was fine. Not the best at my size for jogging. I honestly felt like I was too lightweight to really get the benefit of this EnerzyNXT foam, but it's a good thing. I'm not bottoming it out, right? Now, versus other shoes in that 150 price range, it is not a super max stack shoe, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. Vomero is a better option at 155 if you want max cushion. Also, Neo Zen in Mizuno's own lineup, that would be more of the soft comfort max cushion option. This is more of the no weirdness option. So a no weirdness shoe, more bounce than a lot of the competitors in the core category, while still retaining the flexibility and forefoot ground feel. Now, question number 3, how does this compare to everything else on the market? It's more traditional. It's not a super rocker shoe. If you want that, you go to the Neo Vista 2. It's not a super max stack shoe. It's not a speed shoe. It is not specialized at all. It's specialized in not being weird. So if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for a standard shoe to just go out and run or walk, when I was in business school, one of my friends, he ran in Mizuno's, and that was pretty much it. I think he had the Wave Rider 28, and I would see him, he would go to the gym, he would lift some weights, he would pop on the treadmill with his iPad, run a mile, and get back on the horse for studying. So that's really what this thing is designed to do. You go to the gym, you go pick up some oat milk, non-GMO, you go to the farmer's market, whatever. This is dad drip right here. So I'll give this a big thumbs up for what it is designed to do. I know it's not the most exciting, but yeah, I really wanted to give it a look because, man, 29, that's a legend in the game. I've never reviewed this franchise. I wanted to see what they're doing with the EnerzyNXT, and they've done a nice job evolving it. So in terms of implications for the Mizuno lineup, I think this itself is the manifestation of the last 2 years to 18 months. When I was at TRE 2023, they told me, hey, we got a lot of cool stuff coming. And would you look at that? They got the Wave Rebellion Pro 3. That thing is pretty sweet. I've really enjoyed it once I've got more miles in it. They have the Neo Zen, Neo Vista 2. They have the Wave Sky 9 coming. They've had the Flash 2 out in the market for a long time, so I'd be interested to see what they do to update that. But man, their lineup is stacked right now. I haven't had a miss in a long time from Mizuno. So very solid. They don't have the brand recognition in the US. I know they're trying their darndest. It's funny, anytime we post anything on Instagram related to Mizuno, they have these account reps or these tech reps who will pick it up and repost it. A lot of the brands do, but I've noticed Mizuno is really on it. So it seems like they are making a concerted push to infiltrate the US market. I know they're doing a lot with the run clubs and getting the name out. They still do have that
baseball reputation. For any of you who grew up in the US and you played Little League, you'll remember Mizuno. I played Little League for 1 year. I was absolutely horrible. I think my batting average was a .05. I might have gone on base once. I was so bad they put me in the outfield. I think there's one pop fly that came my way and I missed it. Baseball, not my sport. Basketball, lacrosse, those are my sports. I don't know what it was about baseball, man. I think also I came into it late, and you have those baseball kids, and their dads play baseball or the coach of the team, and they've just been doing it. It's like Robbie Boucher and all those guys who've been playing together since they were 6. And I came in late, and I just wasn't good. So you could blame it on everything. I was just trash at baseball. But yeah, they have that baseball reputation, but they really are making some good performance shoes. So I'm going to continue spotlighting them and highlighting them, even if these videos don't get a ton of pop and buzz, because this is a better shoe than the Pegasus. This is maybe a better shoe than the Supernova Rise. I don't know. We don't always have to say things are better, but this is right in the same category with those shoes. It just doesn't have the same brand recognition, but that's okay. And Mizuno is going to keep grinding, and hopefully they keep putting out bangers. So thumbs up, Mizuno Wave Rider 29, putting in work. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I'm late. I'm gonna find myself. I said I was gonna be brief. Was that brief? It's hard to know with me what brief is. Charlie said she wanted to leave today at a reasonable hour. It's 9:59 a.m. That seems reasonable to me. Also, these are pretty fresh. Should I rock them? To the botanical garden? This kind of looks like a botanical garden colorway. Might be clean.